In this rundown, we're not glorifying blockbusters or marveling at the ingenious. No, we're donning our necessary hats to dissect the less fortunate releases of 2023. For gamers, being informed about the duds out there is just as important as discovering the top hits. The gaming industry, like any other, faces its share of failures. However, with valuable lessons learned and feedback received, even the creators behind these missteps can bounce back to deliver something truly groundbreaking. 2023 has proven to be a remarkable year for gaming, showcasing some notable disasters within the gaming realm. Today, let's discuss the missteps that have occurred. In this video, we will guide you through the major gaming failures and delve into the 5 games that sucked in 2023, helping you identify which games to steer clear of, or, if you're feeling adventurous, which ones might be worth exploring after a few updates. Let's kick things off with a big one, Payday 3. This one really hits differently compared to the rest, if you ask me. While some are just disappointing, Payday 3 stands out for its improved gunplay and stealth mechanics. Gameplay-wise, it's the most enjoyable Payday installment yet. The combat is a blast, and the stealth feels smoother and more flexible. There's plenty to praise about it, but the downsides are hard to miss. At launch, it suffered from some pretty awful AI issues, lackluster mission objectives, and a shortage of diverse heists. On top of that, technical hiccups and server problems plagued the experience long after launch. It's a game with great potential, but its current state falls short of expectations. However, there's still hope that Payday 3 might turn things around in the future. Who knows, maybe one day it won't suck. But that day isn't today. Number 2 on the list is Wanted Dead, a game that's got a bit of a mixed reception compared to the other games we've talked about. It's like a blast from the past action game, mixing nostalgia and quirky vibes. It's got this goofy charm that just pulls you in. Sure, it's got its flaws, but there's something strangely captivating about it that keeps you hooked. The gameplay has some cool combat moves, even though it can get a tad repetitive. But you know, stuff like where the checkpoints are and other quirky bits kinda hold it back from being top-notch. The story? Oh man, it's just plain weird. It feels like something Tommy Wiseau would come up with. You know, the guy behind The Room. Wanted Dead has this odd charm, but it's undeniably different. It's not about being perfect, it's all about its quirks. So, even though it falls short in some areas, there's this weird affection for it that's hard to shake. The unique blend of nostalgic elements and quirky gameplay mechanics gives players a sense of unpredictability and whimsy that sets it apart from other titles in the same genre. The character design, while unconventional, adds to the game's overall charm, creating a world that feels both familiar and delightfully bizarre. Despite its imperfections, Wanted Dead manages to carve out its own niche in the gaming landscape, offering an experience that is as eccentric as it is endearing. Alright, so now we're starting to get into our legitimate dissatisfactions. Redfall appears to be a game that Arcane Studios wasn't passionate about assembling, as I suspected. Detailed analyses have emerged regarding the blossoming process, indicating a noteworthy exodus of talent from the studio. This experience has perpetually altered the dynamics at Arcane Studios Austin. Previously understood for titles like Dishonored, Prey, and Deathloop, they were demanded to assemble a live service game for lucrative returns. Despite their exceptional track record, transitioning to this genre proved unfeasible. The team's attempt at combining vampires into the game was intriguing, but ultimately fell short due to the inconsistent nature of their vision with the live service model. Consequently, low enthusiasm led to numerous departures, culminating in a lackluster game with an unobstructed world map, peculiar combat mechanics, and subpar AI. While there are periodic highlights, such as the well-designed vampires, overall, the game lacks significance. It's demoralizing to witness its shortcomings, evaluating the potential it had if developed as a true Arcane Studios project. One game you won't be surprised by is Skull Island: Rise of Kong, brought to you by Game Mill, a fitting name, right? It's pretty clear before that we won't just be talking about this one Game Mill title today. Let me tell you, this game has its fair allocation of flaws. I mean, the moment you set eyes on it, you can't miss the points. Bugs everywhere, typical problem these days, and talk about the lack of significance in different areas. To be frank, it's just plain boring. You get to play as diverse Kong family members periodically, but trust me, it's not as exciting as it might sound. The graphics? Oh boy, they're not great, assuming you're back to the Dreamcast days or even worse. Despite the meticulous Kong models, the visuals need to be more elongated, showing how art direction thrashes a high polygon count any day. And Kong's size? It's totally unpredictable, with departing players scratching their heads. The platforming parts? Meh. Combat? It begins off okay, but the limitations quickly show. Attackers hit the nail on the head with the lack of replay value. Not great for a subpar game. But hey, there's a silver lining. The unintentional comicness in some Kong character techniques that could easily turn into uproarious memes. The last game on the list is Forspoken, which truthfully caught my eye with its cool gameplay mechanics. It's all about analyzing this massive map in a new way, presenting you with a smooth and immersive experience unlike anything else out there. But you know, even with this awesome element, it falls a bit short in the end. The way you move approximately in the game is super cool, but it only counts a little to the consistencies or the story's stakes. The lore in Forspoken is super thrilling and adds a lot to the story, but sometimes it feels like they're clarifying too much, you know? It's like those movies that just keep advising you everything, rather than allowing you to figure it out. The name Forspoken is pretty cool, implying all the magic stuff in the game and the main essence's journey from New York to this magical place. This wrench in the story is pretty cool too. It's all about obtaining too much praise and how it transforms everything. But even with all these cool forts going on, the game doesn't quite get its full potential. They miss out on some fantastic possibilities for plot twists and making the gameplay even more thrilling. Oh, and the way they try to make the characters articulate like millennials just feels a bit forced and not entirely right. They need to work on making the discussion more natural and less like they're straining too hard with stereotypes. And that's all for today. We would love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to drop a comment below to share your feedback with us. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to show your support by hitting the like button. In case you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect moment to do so. We release fresh content every single day of the week, and subscribing is the best way to catch them first. Remember to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Once again, we sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Thank you.